Have any of you ever had a gut ache? How about a really, really bad one? While each of you is remembering your most recent attack of the stomach flu, I want to let you know that there are currently 300,000 Canadians suffering from diseases of the gut, broadly known as irritable bowel diseases. Now, unlike the stomach flu that lasts for about 2 days or maybe a week if you're very unlucky, people with irritable bowel diseases suffer constantly, with increased agony during flare ups. Now, in case you thought that wasn't bad enough, the worst part is that 70% of these individuals also suffer from mental conditions, such as depression and anxiety. I thought that 70% was simply too high to be a mere coincidence. So I began studying the brain gut axis, the communication method between the brain and the gut. I found that when I gave mice the irritable bowel disease known as ulcerative colitis, it induced inflammation in both their gut and their brain. I also tested these mice their anxiety with a behavior test called the fear to context test. In this test, there are two contexts, each with a unique shape, wall pattern, and scent. For 8 days, the mice rotated between one context and the other, receiving a mild foot shock in one context, but not in the other. Later, they were placed in the same context, but with no shocks at all. I found that the mice that had ulcerative colitis showed higher levels of anxiety, even showing anxiety in the context they were trained to know as safe. So while this confirmed what I was seeing in humans, my question immediately changed to, why is this happening, and how can I stop it? It was found that mitochondria, those parts of the cell that produce all the energy, are involved in gut inflammation, brain inflammation, and anxiety production. So I thought that testing their role in this inflammatory cycle could provide some valuable insight. With this in mind, for my thesis, I will be giving mice a chronic dose of ulcerative colitis. I'll be giving a subset of these mice MitoQ, a mitochondrial targeted antioxidant, and another subset I will be giving psilocybin, also known as magic mushrooms. Both of these molecules have the potential to decrease the inflammation in the mitochondria specifically. I'll also be testing all these mice on the same fear to context behavior test mentioned earlier in order to test their anxiety levels. After this, I will be analyzing the mitochondrial proteins in specific brain regions related to anxiety. I will do this by extracting the RNA from these brain regions and running it on a polymerase chain reaction. Each of these steps will test if there are correlative changes in the anxiety levels and the mitochondrial proteins of mice given ulcerative colitis, mice given ulcerative colitis and MitoQ, and mice given ulcerative colitis and psilocybin. I'm expecting that mice given ulcerative colitis only will show higher levels of anxiety, as well as imbalanced mitochondrial proteins, leading to lower energy levels. I'm also expecting that mice given ulcerative colitis and MitoQ and mice given ulcerative colitis and psilocybin will behave more similarly to control mice, showing lower levels of anxiety and more balanced mitochondrial proteins, leading to higher levels of energy production by the mitochondria. My goal is to find a simple and accessible way to inhibit the painful inflammatory cycle experienced by so many.